We live?
Yeah.
Hey gang, this is Mike with my real estate dojo. And when I was younger, in high school and college, the thing that was taught to me by entrepreneurs is, man, you want to make money, you want to save your money, you know. And one of my personal goals was that I wanted to have $1 million cash in my banking account. And that was one of my goals when I was growing up, is that I want to have $1 million in cash into my banking account. Today, I don't want to have no money in my banking account. I want to have as less as possible in my banking account. And I want to explain this to you because for the longest time, I didn't really understand. By saving my money into a banking account, I actually lose buying power. I actually lose my energy, my youth, my wealth by keeping my money into the banking system. So I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you should not save cash in the banking system in 2017. Okay, the number 1 reason, which is very, very, very important, is called inflation. Now, you heard this word so often on TV, on the news. People talk about it. Your professors may have talked about it, and we kind of hear, but we don't really understand what it really means. Inflation. Simply put, inflation is a tax that's put on the United States citizens, okay? And it's a hidden tax that we don't really understand. Let me give you a couple of examples. I went to Discount Tire yesterday and I bought 2 pairs of tires. And I bought the same exact tires a year ago. Today when I went and bought them, the same exact tires cost me for the Lexus $215. So again, same exact tire, same exact brand, on the same exact car, cost me $215. Last year I bought the same exact tire for the same exact car at the same exact Discount Tire, and I paid $200 for them. So last year I paid $200. This year I paid $215. So the extra $15 is called inflation. And basically in 1 year, we had almost 7.5% inflation from last year's price. Now, if you watch the news, if you watch these gurus, or you watch, the puppets talking on TV, they say that inflation is usually about 2 to 3% max. But that's bullshit. Because in this one example that I've talked about, where I bought a tire from Discount Tire, same exact tire, last year it cost me $200. This year's costing me $215. So if you do the math, that's 7.5%. That's roughly about 8% of inflation. So the $200, if I wouldn't bought that tire, I went to Discount Tire yesterday and I dropped $200, I couldn't get the tire. I had to come up with an extra $15. So what that means is whenever you have money into your banking account, you're losing value, your purchasing power, okay? Another good example I've mentioned many times is when I was in high school, a gallon of gas from Exxon or Shell cost about 89 cents. Today, for the same exact gallon, it's costing me between $3 to $4. Again, inflation, okay? So now, if you look, it's been about almost like 20 years, 15 years. In about 15 years, we had, if you just compare the gas, it used to be $1, now it's $4, guys. So you do the math, that's like 70% inflation, dude, if not more, okay? I don't have a calculator in front of me, but it's not 8%. In 1 year, I bought a tire for $200. This year, I'm paying $215. So in 1 year, we're looking about 7.5, 8% of inflation. In 10, 20 years, as you can see with the gas example, it used to be 89 cents. Now it's almost $4. So the point number 1 is that inflation robs you and robs me of our purchasing power, of our wealth, and more importantly, of our life, our energy. Because we have to work harder, we have to work more hours, spend less time with our pets, let's spend time with our kids, with our loved ones, or go do fun shit because the Federal Reserve keeps printing out money and is decreasing your purchasing power, okay? And my purchasing power, and it's very subtle, and you and I don't even see it. It's kind of like somebody coming into our banking account and robbing us of our money without us even knowing about it, and it's totally legal, guys. So the number one reason why you should not save money in your banking account is because inflation. It robs you of your purchasing power, it robs me of my purchasing power, and it's an unforeseeable tax that you and I pay that we don't even know about, guys. Okay? Now, point number two, why you should not save any money into your banking account is that the banking system, for example, if you look back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you had $1 million in your banking account, you could live off of that because, the banks would give you about 5%, 7%, whatever interest rate. So if you had $1 million in your banking account, you would make 30, 40 grand, 50 grand a year every year just off that money in your banking account. Today, if you have $1 million in your banking account, you're not getting shit, dude. You're getting like 4 cents, 5 cents, $4, with that $1 million. You're not getting shit, okay? So to have that money into your banking account, you're not going to get nothing in return for it. Zero, okay? Number two, like me, you're going to probably have to pay for the fucking bankers to keep your money there. What do I mean by that? They have all these junk fees. For example, every time I buy gold and silver and I want to wire some money to a domestic company, I got to spend $25 to pay the fucking bank for them to wire my money. Every time I want to call them and I say, hey, can you send me a statement of 2016 or 2015? I got to pay them some kind of fee for them to send me a statement. If I don't want to get electronic e-statements, then I got to pay $14 a month or $10 a month or whatever to have them send me bank statements. So simply put, I'm putting my money with the banks. They're not giving me no fucking interest. I got to pay these fuckers money to use my money. Meanwhile, the bankers are using my money, taking risk. They're making shitload of money with my money, and there's no benefit for me, dude, for me to keep my money in the bank, dude. Zero zitch, okay? So simply put, putting my money in the bank is costing me money. Instead of them paying me, the bank's paying me for them to use my money and use your money and Sally's money and Bobby's money, we got to pay them to keep our money. And then, as you know, there's a lot of bullshit that goes with that. So we're losing money by keeping our money with the bank at the banking system. And that's why I say in 2017, if you're saving shitload of money into the banking system, you're committing suicide because of inflation, because of the banking system not paying you. Instead, you got to pay them to keep your money. And the next point that comes into my mind is called capital control. The third reason why it's a suicide to keep your money in the banking system in 2017 is because of capital control. Now, for some of you guys don't know what that means. I just did a video about it, but if you just go back and just look through our history just a couple of years ago, you can see Greece, you can see Cyprus, okay? Economic collapse. For example, what happened in Cyprus? People just like you and me, we went to bed, we're thinking everything's good. I got 10K in the bank, or I got $1 million in the bank, or I got 10 million in the bank. I'm doing good. I go to bed, I wake up, and then I go to the bank to get some money. I go to the ATM to get some money, and boom, my account's frozen. Capital control. That is already happening in Europe, guys. No bullshit. Why? Because all of our banking system, the world's banking system, majority of the countries is fiat and is based by US dollars, because I'll get to that next point, okay? Why US is called the petrodollars, okay? So simply put, guys, capital control, having money into your banking account, means that you can go to sleep, you can wake the fuck up, and Uncle Sam has frozen your assets. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is saying the economy is really good, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like we have all kinds of bubbles. We have the real estate bubble, we have the stock bubble going on, we have all these different bubbles that are here to fool you thinking the economy is really good, but it's really not. And if you look around, if you read, not the media, the newspapers or TV, if you look around at other smart people all over the world, you can hear people saying that Germany's in trouble. You can hear France is in trouble. Greece is in trouble. So all these people have the same exact money system as we do, which is called fiat, and central banking system. So if these people that are using the same systems as we are in trouble and they're having the government control their capital, why wouldn't it happen here, dude? We're the one that started the whole fiat Ponzi scheme idea. So this is our game, this is our system. Other countries around the world are using it, and they're going bankrupt, dude. The government is seizing the people's money. So the third reason why you don't want to have your money into a banking, in a saving, is because capital control. Because in America and other countries that use fiat money, we're all up to our head and eyeballs into debt, dude. Because all we do is, in America, the only thing we're producing is two things. We're producing shitload of debt, and we're producing shitload of money. We just print out this money, and we just ship it around all over the world. And we're producing debt. If you don't think so, just look at yourself. How much credit card debt do you have? How much student loans do you have? Do you own your fucking car? Or do you have to make payments on it? Do you own your fucking house? And if you look around, majority of people have all these cars, all these furnitures that they have to pay having because they don't own the furniture. They got to pay car payments because they don't own the fucking car. So when I tell you in America there's two things we produce, is debt production and printing a shitload of money. That's it, dude. Okay? So this is the system we have. It's called fiat money, dude. It's not backed by gold. And the same system, all parts of the world, majority of the world is using, and they're going into fucking shutdown. Okay? And that's the truth. Don't believe me. Google this shit, dude. Read about it. Don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to Fox News. Don't listen to those guys. Look at other people in other parts of the country, in the world, that are telling you what's going on in their own country. They're smart people. So capital control is a serious matter in 2017 and yonder. Okay, because the American dollar is getting weaker and weaker. Which brings me to point number 4, guys, which is called the petrodollar. All right. Back in the days, we had money that was backed by gold, okay? That means that if we had this much gold, we had this much money. That was it. Then a little bit later on through history, the Federal Reserve came in, persuaded Congress to change the Constitution, and so we went from having our money backed by gold to being fiat, which means that the money we print is like this piece of paper. It has no fucking value to it. The only reason we think it has value is because you, me, Sally, Bob, China, Brazil, Germany, we all think it's valuable. So it's all psychological, okay? It's fiat money. So the Federal Reserve paid the lobbyists to change the Congress, for them to change the Constitution, to say, you know what, we could have fiat money. Okay, so we had gold, then we had money that was backed by gold, then we got fiat money, and then the next point that I want to talk to is what's called petrodollars. Okay, and that's something that many of us don't understand, is that before we got the petrodollars, the Federal Reserve basically conned other nations into using that fiat system. Okay, and then our government went to the OPEC, which is basically the companies in the Middle East, the countries in the Middle East that produce all the oil and all the natural gases. And they're like a gang, like a cartel, and they're called the OPEC. And so the United States went to the OPEC, Saudi Arabia, and told them, hey, we're going to give you protection, we're going to give you weapons, we're going to give you this, and convince and con the OPEC countries to only accept the U.S. dollars if you want to get gas. So what does that mean? If you're in Germany or if you're in China, you want to buy oil, you need U.S. dollars. That's it. That's the only way to buy oil from OPEC is through U.S. dollars. So this is what allowed America and the Federal Reserve to get so powerful, because it doesn't matter if you're in England, it doesn't matter if you're in Germany, it doesn't matter if you're in Russia, you're in Pakistan. If you want to get fucking gas and oil, you need to have U.S. dollars. That's what allowed America to be so great, because every country in the world, when they want to buy gas and oil, they have to use the petrodollar. Okay? So where am I going with the petrodollar? The petrodollar is what gives the U.S. dollars power, okay? Because remember, it's just a piece of paper, okay? But everybody in the world needs to trade this piece of paper to get gas and oil. But the problem we're having right now is that many of the other countries around the world are understanding that this is a Ponzi scheme, this is just fiat money, and our government and our Federal Reserve is just printing so much money, and that people like China, Russia, Iran, they're saying, you know what, we don't want to accept American dollars anymore, okay? And so what's happening is that, for example, Iran decided that they're not going to accept U.S. dollars for gas anymore. So if you want to buy gas and oil, you have to pay us in euros, okay? So what that does is it knocks down the power of the petrodollar. Same thing is happening with Russia. Same thing is happening with the BRICS communities. They've actually, like Brazil, a bunch of other countries are creating their own currency where they're able to exchange with each other without using the U.S. dollars. So what does that mean for you, and why do I say the weakening of the petrodollar is a disaster for you and me to save our money into a banking account? It's because as more and more and more countries around the world decide to go away from the petrodollars, they decide to exchange goods and services by some other currency that's not U.S. based, or by gold. What that does is it devalues our U.S. money, our currency. It makes our paper dollar really be paper dollars. And as less and less countries are willing to accept our dollar, that means that inflation is going to hit even harder for you and me. That means that other countries are not going to be able to trade with us. Think about this. In America, you know, I love this country to death, but I go around and we all have so much shit. We all have the nicest clothes, we have the nicest cars, we have all these things we have. But we don't own none of it, okay? And if you look, let's say, in other parts of the country or the world, they don't have all that shit. How is it that we all have cars we don't own? How is it that we all have all these furnitures we don't own, okay? All that is because of the petrodollar. All that is that Ponzi scheme that the Federal Reserve created, where we're able to print out money, and we print out money like this, and we exchange this paper for natural resources from all the other countries. For example, in Brazil, they send us their fruits, they send us their gold, they send us whatever. In Japan, they're sending us their cars, they're sending us all their natural resources, okay, that's actually worth something. And then in America, we're giving them fake papers. So China's sending over their cars, Japan's sending over their vehicles, Germany's sending us this, Middle East sending us the oil. So all these countries are sending us valuable resources, things that are actually tangible. And in America, all we do is send them this piece of paper. So all the world are sending their resources, the real world tangible resources to America, and we're just dishing out paper dollars to all these countries. And that's why I said earlier that in America, we're producing two things the greatest. We're producing a shitload of money, fiat money, we just print it out, and we produce a lot of fucking debt. Not only have we got everybody in America in debt, but we also got all the other countries in the world that participate in the fiat dollar into debt as well. So, see, and as more and more people get into debt, as more and more countries get into debt and they start defaulting, they're going to realize this is a Ponzi scheme, and they're going to go away from the petrodollar. And as more and more countries get away from the petrodollar, the weaker our purchasing power becomes. And it reflects back to this not being the money, but being just a piece of paper. And what that hits for you and me, what that means is all the 4 points that I explained, where if you have money in the banking system, you're going to lose purchasing power. You're not going to be able to buy as much shit as before. Government control of the capital may happen, as it has already happened in Greece, in Cyprus. So all these bad things can happen if you have your money into a savings account. Now, what should you do if you have money into your savings account? Well, you should buy hard assets like, for example, gold or real estate, or start businesses that actually produce money. If you have $1 million in your banking account, it ain't doing shit for you. Okay, it's not giving you extra money because interest rates are so low. If you have $1 million in your banking account, or 100,000 or whatever, your purchasing power is getting less and less. So instead of just letting that sit there and just pile up, because in the 50s and the 60s, if you want to become rich, you need to have savings in your banking account because it paid interest. Today, you have all this shitload of money in your savings account, it ain't doing shit for you. You're losing purchasing power because of inflation. You have the threat of the federal government seizing the capital of all the people because of the market crash, if the debt ceiling problem doesn't get fixed. So saving your money in 2017 into a banking system is a way no. You better use this money and buy hard assets and have your money work for you, because if you leave your money in the banking account, A, it doesn't work for you, B, it loses value, C, it only works for the fucking bankers. By you leaving your money in your fucking banking account, it allows the bankers to make shitload of money, take shitload of risk, and when they fucking lose it, me and you're gonna bail them out like we did in 2007, 2008. We're gonna fucking bail them out with our tax money. So the more money we leave with the bankers, dude, we're basically doomed because we're not getting any return from our investment. We're allowing these fucking gangsters to take crazy amount of risk, waste our money, and then if they lose, then we're gonna bail them out. So this is why I'm saying 2017, if you have money in your savings, you're better off investing it into hard assets and having your money work for you. Because if you just leave it into the banking savings account, you have a high risk for the government taking it over. You're having a high risk of the bankers to waste and lose your fucking money. And for sure, 100% for sure, every fucking day, every fucking month, your purchasing power gets less and less and less with the amount of money you have in your savings. So what I've done is that I've taken majority of my money out of my savings. I have some money in there to pay for electricity, water, whatever. But the majority of my money, I am looking to buy real estate. I'm looking to buy gold. I'm looking to invest in something that are hard assets. I'm not going to get into soft assets like stocks or, mutual funds. To me, those are like Ponzi schemes. Those are like fraud. And I know this sounds really crazy when I tell you guys this, that stocks are like fraud, and I think it's a Ponzi scheme. But if I can't control it, I think it's not the real deal. And that's why it blows my mind where so many Americans are willing to give their money to a mutual fund broker and say, here's my life savings. Good luck, guy. I hope you take care of me and I can retire when I'm fucking poor. Dude, you got to take control of your own fucking life. And stocks is like the same thing. You're just giving your money to a corporation that you never met any of the employees, you never met any of the management, and you're hoping that they're all going to do the right thing so you can get some money in return. What I'm old school. I'd rather take that money myself, have total control of it, invest in real estate. I'm totally in control. Buy rental houses. I'm totally in control. Buy gold. I'm totally in control. I'll never give my money to some company and say, guy, I hope you take care of my money. Why don't you study more about money than I do, and I'll let you take it? No, I'm going to control my own fucking money. I'm going to control my own destiny, and I will read the books that's required to give me the education I need so I can invest my own money. I will never give my money to a banker and have them invest it for me in a mutual fund or in some kind of stock. That's the dumbest thing in my book. And I will not leave my money into the banks for them to have my money to reinvest it in some risky-ass investments like the crash of 2007, 2008, where we have to bail those fuckers out. So my comment today is, if you have money in your banking account, really, really do your due diligence. Really research other countries that use our same fiat system. They're going into debt, they're going solvent. And really understand what it is going around the world, because if China goes down or Russia goes down or Japan goes down or Greece goes down or Germany goes down, we're all interconnected because all the money around the world, well, majority of countries around the world are using the petrodollar. So if US goes down, all the countries around the world goes down. And that's why I believe that this time when we have a bust, when we have a crash, it's just not going to be US based, it's going to be the world based, and it's going to be some serious problems coming up, or very soon coming up, okay? I don't have a crystal ball, I can't tell the future, But I can see that everybody and their mom is talking about stocks. People on Facebook have never invested in stocks talking about, man, how can I get in stocks? I can take an Uber and the guy's talking about, yeah, man, stocks doing real good. Real estate's doing good. Everybody's saying these things are doing good. That's why I know that everybody's going right and I got to go left. I'm not smart, but I watch everybody. If everybody's going right, it's time to go left. And that's what I can tell you. That if you use your own mind, your own intuition, if you're willing to read fucking books, then you don't need mutual brokers to invest your money. You don't need these people to, you hand over your fucking license and say, hey, take care of it for me. You're smarter than I am, and I think you'll do a better job. Fuck that, dude. Take control of your own fucking life. Take your money out of your fucking savings and invest it into hard assets. And don't give the bankers all your fucking money for them to make shitload of money and take risks with your money, and then we have to bail their fuckers out. Because they don't give a fuck, dude. Hey guys, if you like these videos, please like, please share, please comment, and tell your friends about me. See you later, gang.